We all came from Adam and Eve. We can be traced back to Noah, all of us. So to talk about interracial, really there's only one race, the human race. But okay, we want to talk about that because you can find many people against one's marrying someone that is not within their particular race. The most important viewpoint would have to be that of God, because many of these same people that claim that the people should only marry within their race are people that claim to be Christian, that claim to know God, that claim to be even preachers and so forth. So are they telling the truth that that's the way it should be? That you only should marry whites, marry whites, blacks marry blacks, Hispanics marry Hispanics, Asians marry Asians, and things of this nature. Well, if that is God's viewpoint, we find that Moses didn't get the memo. No one let Moses, who was very close to God, know. They didn't let him know that he wasn't supposed to marry someone not of his race. In fact, he married a Cushite, someone of African descent, as the Bible said. Think about the woman Rahab. Now, she was a prostitute. She married Salmon, who was Hebrew, and she was not. And then Ruth, the Moabitess, married a Hebrew, Boaz. And she was, of course, not of that, if you want to call race, that descent. But these two women were married by those who were Hebrews. And they, in fact, were able to be, because of their marriages, be in the line of descent that led to King David and that eventually led to Jesus Christ. Then, of course, King Solomon, he married Egyptian, among many other women of foreign descent. And we know that Bathsheba married a Hittite, who was one of David's top men. And so even in the law, when the Israelites went out to war, if there was a woman who was a foreigner that they wanted to marry, they could do it, but they had to follow the particular procedure. So there was never any pattern among the nation of Israel that you had to marry a fellow Israelite. They were intermarrying with other races. The only problem was, which Solomon fell prey to, he was marrying all these women. In fact, he had like 1,000 women, all from different nations, and they were not lovers of Jehovah. And that was the key thing. They were not willing to submit to Jehovah's ways, so they turned his heart away from God, even the wise man, King Solomon. So it just heightens the importance of really being careful who you marry, because the result can be pretty bad if you're not very careful. So we see here that the Bible precedent is that faithful men have married outside of their particular race. Now notice Jesus said in Matthew 19, where he talked about the marriage and how God made them male and female, and they're to be one flesh, and what God has put together, let no man put apart. So here it outlines that marriage is between a male and a female, as the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 14 says, no one is to try to alter what God has put in order. And so the only legitimate marriage in all the universe is male and female. And so when that marriage takes place, we know God hates a divorce. But so both inside and outside the marriage, they should not be working to break it up. They should be working to help make that marriage be maintained. Now, most societies work to break up marriages, and because they've done that, their society suffers. Their society becomes more expensive and becomes less secure. And that happens anytime you deviate from the way God says things are to be. So male and female. Now you notice, God, it didn't say anything about race. It just said male and female. If you notice 1 Corinthians 11:9, we can go there and look at what it says about the man and woman. We will go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11. And verse 9, and there it says, and what is more, man was not created for the sake of the woman, but the woman for the sake of the man. Notice it says here that the woman was made for the sake of the man, because man had that need. He was the one that was lonely, and God made the woman for man. Therefore, you notice there it doesn't say anything about a particular race that, okay, must be the white woman is made for the white man, or the black man is made for the white, or the black woman is made for the black man, or the white woman is made for the white man. No, it just said the woman was made for the man. And we know as Christians, we don't know any man by the flesh. As Philippians chapter 3, it shows that involves race. So therefore, it's not about the race. The only stipulations the Bible gives is marry only in the Lord, and let them get married once they're past the bloom of youth. That's the only stipulation. Other than that, as long as it's male and female, that's all that matters. And so when that marriage is there, when there is a marriage, what should our viewpoint be? We'll look at Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. What is our viewpoint? It says, let marriage be honorable among all. So there it says, let marriage be honorable among all, and let the marriage bed be without defilement. And so when that marriage is together, you must have honor for it. You must not do anything against it. You must not have anything less than honor for marriages. And that's it. As Jesus said, what God has put together, let no man put apart. So if you're trying to break up those marriages because you don't like it, because someone has married someone not of their race or something of that nature, and you try to break it up, then you're working against God, because that is a sin what you're doing. And also, and that applies to both in and outside the marriage. Neither one, both in and out, shouldn't be trying to break up the marriage. They should be working to keep that marriage together. The marriage bed should be without defilement. But again, many people's racist hairs on the back of their head start standing up when they see someone marrying someone of a different race. But when they have God's view, they know that that marriage is honorable, and they must treat it with honor and respect, or be sinning against God. This interracial marriage is something that is not or has any relevance to whether a marriage is legitimate or not. It's all about male and female, and it's all about showing honor, that all show honor in regards to marriage. And when you understand God's viewpoint, have his viewpoint, you won't be sinning against God, but you'll be doing the will of God, doing what he wants to be done.